Seaweed. Wind descends on the Atlantic, the gigantic storm wind of the equinox. Landward in his wrath he scourges the toiling surges, laden with seaweed from the rocks. From Bermuda's reefs, from edges of sunken ledges, and some far-off bright Azore, from Bahama and the dashing, silver-flashing surges of San Salvador. From the tumbling surf that buries the Orkneyan skerries, answering the hoarse Hebrides, and from wrecks of ships and drifting spars, uplifting on the desolate rainy seas, ever drifting, 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 on the shifting currents of the restless main, till in sheltered coves and reaches of sandy beaches all have found repose again. So when storms of wild emotion strike the ocean of the poet's soul, ere long from each cave and rocky fastness, in its vastness, floats some fragment of a song. From the far-off isles enchanted, heaven has planted with the golden fruit of truth. From the flashing surf, whose vision gleams Elysian in the tropic clime of youth. From the strong will and the endeavor that forever wrestle with the tides of fate, from the wreck of hopes far scattered, tempest-shattered, floating waste and desolate, ever drifting, 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 on the shifting currents of the restless heart, till at length in books recorded, they, like hoarded household words, no more depart. Sir Humphrey Gilbert. Southward with fleet of ice sailed the corsair, Death. Wild and ghast blew the blast, and the east wind was his breath. His lordly ships of ice glistened in the sun, on each side like pennons wide, flashing crystal streamlets run. His sails of white sea mist dripped with silver rain, but where he passed there were cast leaden shadows o'er the main. Eastward from Campobello Sir Humphrey Gilbert sailed. 3 days or more seaward he bore, then alas, the land wind failed. Alas, the land wind failed, and ice cold grew the night, and never more on sea or shore should Sir Humphrey see the light. He sat upon the deck, the book was in his hand. Do not fear, heaven is as near, he said, by water as by land. In the first watch of the night, without a signal's sound, out of the sea, mysteriously, the fleet of death rose all around. The moon and the evening star were hanging in the shrouds. Every mast, as it passed, seemed to rake the passing clouds. They grappled with their prize at midnight, black and cold, as of a rock was the shock. Heavily the ground swell rolled. Southward through day and dark they drift in cold embrace, with mist and rain o'er the open main, yet there seems no change of place. Southward, forever southward, they drift through dark and day, and like a dream in the Gulf Stream, sinking, vanish all away.